Florida red tide is an algal bloom called Dinoflagellate Carina brevis that heavily feeds off fertilizer and nutrients in the water. The algae becomes dangerous when the algal colonies grow and become out of control, which then creates toxic blooms. Florida red tide originates from the Everglades agricultural area where there are many farmers that grow sugarcane, which uses large masses of fertilizer. When it rains, this fertilizer runs off from the area into Lake Okeechobee. Fertilizer is then distributed into the Caloosahatchee River and the St. Lucie Canal, which empty off into the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. The algae then feeds off this fertilizer, which causes massive blooms. These blooms caused 605 sea turtles to die, 120 sea turtles to be stranded, and 266 turtles to be poisoned by the blooms in last November. Also in August, 22 dolphins and 100 manatees had died. This is only a small portion of all the sea life that has been killed via the blooms.
This is because the algal blooms are poisonous and take away space for oxygen in the oceans.
Blooms are also toxic to humans. They cause eye irritation, respiratory issues, asthma attacks, and can potentially kill humans. This has made it so all beaches where blooms have been spotted are shut down. There are a few solutions to this problem, but there is only one permanent solution for the tide. There's nothing humans can do to immediately get rid of the tide once it blooms. A storm could blow the tide offshore and deeper into the ocean. This would take quite a sizable storm to do so. If the bloom becomes big enough, there could be not enough nutrients for it to continue to grow and therefore collapse on itself. Even though it would take many, small organisms could eat away at the tide and eventually it would disappear. There's something that happens within the cells that triggers a sequence of small events that can kill the whole bloom, but scientists have not figured out what this trigger is. A toxic algae bloom known as red tide has prompted Governor Rick Scott to declare a state of emergency for 7 Florida counties. The algae produce toxins that affect the central nervous system of aquatic organisms and can lead to respiratory issues in people. The naturally occurring phenomenon has killed manatees, hundreds of sea turtles, and millions of pounds of fish. Florida's tourism agency will receive $500,000 to create an emergency grant program to help communities promote travel to the affected areas. Moat Marine Laboratory will receive $100,000 to help with animal rescue. The only permanent solution for this problem is to prevent sugarcane farmers from dumping and letting fertilizer get into rivers and lakes that lead to the oceans. They could move to other parts of the state where this is not a problem or use more natural fertilizers. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. But wait, there's more. Also, many organizations that have tried to help create a solution for the tide. The Moat Marine Laboratory and Aquarium is one of those organizations. They are an independent nonprofit research institute. They ask for people to let the institute know of any distressed animals and any respiratory issues of humans.
They also make it apparent to take care of watersheds, ask city and government how to help, and how to help out any way possible.
This program may not immediately get rid of the tide, but it is a step in the right direction. Thankfully, over the past 16 months, Florida red tide has disappeared from Florida's coasts. Regular beachgoers and tourists can now safely return to Florida's beaches. I promise you, it is now over. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed.